name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. How are you doing? We're going through the Sun newspaper today, which I read on a regular basis. I've been loyal to this newspaper. I buy it a lot. I waste my money on it, even though some of the content is negotiable, whether it's true or not. Right, this piece is by Grace McCaskill, and it's got, as the Home Secretary considers an ID ban. If these pervs had stayed anonymous, would all victims have got justice? We've got Stuart Hall, jailed, Rolf Harris, jailed, Gary Glitter, jailed, Fred Talbot, jailed. Okay, so we've got this piece. I have actually applied for an ID card, me Crystal. I'm a woman and I've applied for an ID card recently, which is proving difficult because they wanted me to go to a doctor or a dentist or a reputable member of the community and get them to say that I am Crystal. So I paid £15 online for an ID card about a week ago, and they took the money out of my account before they've given me the card. Which is wrong, isn't it? They should take the payment when you've received the card. So I've got nothing in my hand at the moment. I sent £15 off online for an ID card, and I've got nothing in return for it at the moment. We'll see what happens. With an ID card, I can change my doctor. I can move from this flat. So let's go on to this piece the Sun is talking about. Rolf Harris, Stuart Hall, Max Clifford, Gary Glitter, Fred Talbot, a disgusting roll call of names forever linked to vile sex crimes. Yet they could have escaped the full punishments they deserved had they not been publicly named as suspects. Identifying them encouraged new victims to come forward, strengthening police cases, and in some instances landing the disgraced celebrities longer jail terms. But this week, Home Secretary Suella Braverman revealed she is considering a ban on naming criminal suspects in what critics have said could be construed as a rapist and paedophile charter. In a bid to avoid what was called trial by media, the government has been accused of ignoring the real issue surrounding sexual offences, the appalling conviction rate. Just 1 in 100 rapes recorded by cops resulted in a charge in 2021, let alone conviction. NSPCC figures reveal that prosecutions for child sex abuse dropped by half from 2016 to 17 to 2021. Andrea Simon, director of the End Violence Against Women Coalition, argued the move would further stack the justice system against survivors. She said it is vital that we have a system of law, from police through to courts, which is open and transparent. There are almost no crime types where a defendant would be granted anonymity, and we need to think hard about why an exception for sexual offences would be justifiable. In recent years, convictions have fallen to the lowest levels on record. Survivors are treated like the ones under investigation rather than the perpetrators, and I 100% agree with that. Women have lost confidence in the justice system, and rather than work to ensure the system is even further stacked against survivors, we call on the government to urgently address how this broken system is failing women. Mrs. Braverman's comments at a Young Conservatives meeting come after a series of high-profile cases in which famous men were wrongly accused of sex attacks. Singer Sir Cliff Richard won £400,000 from the BBC after it filmed a police raid on his home in Berkshire in August 2014 following a false claim of sexual assault. Ex-Tory MP Harvey Proctor, D-Day veteran Lord Bramall and the late former Home Secretary Lord Britton also faced fake allegations under the botched Met Police investigation Operation Midland, which ran between 2014 and early 2016. Cops took the word of fantasist Carl Beach. Now, Carl was the name of my ex-partner that I had, so fantasist Carl Beach, 54, I'm 54, who claimed he was the victim of a VIP paedophile ring, despite there being no witnesses. The ex-NHS manager from Gloucester was later jailed for 18 years for perverting the course of justice. A damning report into the police investigation showed that a simple check of his background would have thrown up a previous made-up allegation that he had been abused by DJ Jimmy Savile. Campaigners now fear that a handful of deeply damaging false claims against the background of police blunders could change the culture of naming suspects. It may let rapists escape. Farah Nazir, chief executive at Women's Aid, explains why giving suspects anonymity would harm victims. Giving anonymity threatens to undermine police investigations, risks enabling sexual offenders to escape prosecution, and reinforces deeply harmful and incorrect myths. Right, so this is all mixed up. It's just mixed up. Now you've got that, which is serious. That's serious. Not naming sex offenders, and I'm all for naming them because they'll be less likely to repeat offend as well if they're named and shamed. Right? Before you accuse someone of a crime or do a witch hunt, can you make sure you've got the facts straight and the correct, you know, you can't make allegations against somebody unless you've got absolute 100% evidence that they've committed a crime. So from a serious note to another one, all shook ketchup. Someone's seen Elvis Presley in a tomato sauce pot. So the son goes from being really serious to stupid. A mum discovered the face of Elvis staring back at her from a pot of McDonald's ketchup. That's got in the newspapers. I mean, I've seen things in my pot noodles, but I don't write to the newspaper about it. Lisa Ringzell, 27, saw the king of rock and roll trademarks quiff, eyes, mouth and sideburns. Right next to model Nina Agdal. Not model, Agdal. Agdal. I'm not going on about women putting themselves in newspapers half undressed and naked. I'm not a feminist. If women want to strip off and show themselves in a newspaper, because no one's getting any photos out of me, as I said yesterday, what do you want photographs of a 54-year-old woman for when you can go out and get ones of a 20-year-old? But stripping in newspapers so men can look at you and do the do, especially if they get a piece of laminate and stick it over the picture, can't they? Right, guys, you know, I'm not spoiling anybody's fun, but as long as women degrade themselves, they won't be taken seriously. See you later.